I am time. Of beasts, I am the king of beasts, which is the lion, and of birds, I am the son of Vinat, Garud. Shri Krishna says a very nice thing here, that of the Daityas, the son of Kashyap and Didi, Prahlad is his vibhuti, his divine manifestation. The reason for this is very clear. Prahlad stands out very different from all the rest of the Daityas, the sons of Kashyap and Didi. Prahlad has so many qualities. First of all, Prahlad was a devotee from childhood. People do perform devotion in their lives, and it is not as if they don't perform devotion, but they perform devotion when their lives are about to finish, or they perform devotion when no other activity remains in life. I ask many people when they want to begin devotion, and they say that they will not do it, they'll do it when they retire and have nothing else to do. Is devotion a retirement activity? No. Prahlad began devotion from his childhood. Prahlad gives a very nice message in the Srimad Bhagavad. His childhood friends would ask him why he was performing devotion from such a young age. Prahlad said, using calculations, that the reason why one should perform devotion from childhood is that who has seen life? If a person has a life of 100 years, then it's very nice, but let's ideally count a life of 100 years. In a life of 100 years, half that life goes into delusion until the age of 50. Out of these, the first 20 are the childhood years. Then, they did not know what to do, where to go, etc. They did not know anything. Half of the 50 years went in sleep, and 20 years went in the childhood years. The 20 years after the age of 80 are bonus years, because one will not have strength. How many years are left? 50 years have gone in sleep, 20 years have gone in childhood, and the last 20 years have gone in old age, so only 10 years are left. There are only 10 years to achieve whatever you want to achieve in life. In these 10 years, if you wish to earn money, then you can earn money. If you wish to earn fame, then you can earn fame. If you wish to attain power, then you can attain power, etc. Each and every person has this in their lives. Rather than what God gives us, it is more important how we use those 10 years. And if a person wishes to attain wisdom and wishes to attain the Supreme Soul, then they can attain the Supreme Soul. Therefore, brothers, hurry up to worship Hari, God. Srimad Adi Shankaracharya said, Balastava Heyastava Tarunasatavini Magna. When a child is young, then its mind is engaged in play. Then when it grows up, then it gets pleasure from the beauty of the opposite sex. When one becomes of old age, over the age of 80, then it is Om Gam Palitam Palitam Mundam Dashna Viham Jatam Turundam Budo Yeta Guritapandam. One cannot hear from the ears, one cannot see from the eyes, one cannot hear from the ears, there are wrinkles in the skin, the teeth have fallen out, and a doctor has said dip chapati herbal tea. Some people over the age of 80 are different, but not everybody over the age of 80 can be like them. These 20 years until the age of 100 are bonus years. We have the phrase, ESCO, showing that you only have 10 years to achieve whatever you want to achieve in life. If a person wishes to attain wisdom, and he wishes to attain the Supreme Soul, then they can attain the Supreme Soul. Therefore, brothers, hurry up to worship Hari, God. I remember a poem from Maurice. Jindagi na ras na piva ma jali karo Maurice, eko ochi madira che ne jatu jam che. Hurry up to drink the juice of life, Maurice. There's very little time, and all of it's going in alcohol. I think I said it very nicely, that the moment you feel that you're free, or the moment that you feel like you can't think of what to do, then consider that you are making the biggest and the worst of all misuses of life. People do not even know what they want to do and can't think of anything. They say that everything is finished and there's nothing left for them to do. I would say that this is the biggest and worst wastage. The biggest job of all, sitting in front of you is all your spiritual development and your spiritual advancement. Do you ever make efforts for this? And for this, however much efforts you make, it is always too little, because the sky is the limit. It is not as if you've attained all this knowledge and have studied the 10th chapter of Gita, then the spiritual development is done. No, it's an activity that is perpetually going on. Not only after reading it once, but after reading the Gita several times, even after reading several scriptures, and even after performing many penances, these activities are perpetually going on. No end ever comes to them. The Master Saint Pujyashree says, Adi Kela Satsanga Tuka Lala Pandulanga Tachi Bhajan Rahima Mursh Swabhav Jaya. At the beginning, I went to spiritual discourses, and I was colored with the color of God, which does not go away. Still now, I continue to worship God, because my root nature will not go away. At the beginning, Thakuram went to spiritual discourses, listened to good people, and met them, and because of these spiritual discourses, he turned the color of God. He began glorifying God, performing jap, chanting the name of God, remembering the name of God, and performing worship. As a result, Tukaram became one with the Supreme Soul, and reached the state of Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman. He discovered himself and found out that he was the Supreme Truth. Yet despite becoming one with the Supreme Soul, Tukaram still sings divine songs, because his root nature would not go away. He got colored in the colors of God, and found out that he is the Supreme Truth, so one would normally stop going to discourses. but he continued to worship and glorify God because the root nature would not go away. He had formed a habit of going to satsang, spiritual discourses, and had formed such a habit of devotion and penances, and the bliss which he had got from that would not go away. He thought, how can I leave these things as a consequence of which I attained the Supreme Soul? I cannot leave them. What I mean to say, Balaji explained to his friends that we all have very little time in our lives, and whatever happens will have to happen now. I also remember another example showing how little time we have. Guruji told me this, and his grandmother used to tell her this. It is from Aesop's fables. One time it so happened that a man, a donkey, a dog, and a horse all went to God to ask for years in their lives and for youth. Everybody was sent to God, and therefore God gave each of them 40 years in their lives. They came back. When they came back, the man thought, why did God do this? He gave the donkey 40 years, the dog 40 years, the ox 40 years, and me also 40 years. The man went to God and told God that injustice had been done. Human beings have done this since the beginning. They only go to God to complain. There are very few people in the world that can go to God and say that good has happened to them. People just go to God to complain that an injustice has been done to them. God asked the man what had happened. The man said, God, you have put us at the level of dogs and donkeys. You gave them 40 years and you also gave me 40 years. We are something different, and therefore we should have more years than them. God said, I have placed this sign outside so that the stock is over. The stock is run out and there are not any more years left. But if you want years, then you can do one thing. Go and ask it from the creatures that I have given years to. They may give it to you, and it does not matter to me. If you wish to trade between yourselves, then you are free to do so. The man went first of all to the donkey. He may have addressed the donkey as uncle, because from that day the Gujarati phrase, Gaje Gaje Ne Kaka Devo Pare. If you need help from a donkey, then you just need to call in your uncle. They've been invented. The donkey asked how he could help. The man said, Uncle Donkey, what do you want to do with 40 years? You already have so many years. What can you possibly do with those 40 years? Why don't you give some of those years to me? When my time comes, then I'll give them to you. When people go to ask something, then they speak very nicely. The donkey first thought about it a little, that in my 40 years I have to take beatings from people, have to carry the load. Rather than that, I should give these years to the man. The donkey gave the man half its years as a 50-50. The donkey itself kept 20 years and gave 20 years to the man. The man got very happy and thought, wow, now I have youth because I have 60 years to live. Because the donkey gave the man some years, the man got a little encouragement and his courage grew. The man went to the dog and told the dog that, look, even though the donkey has given me some years, so you should also give me some years. Now the precedent had been set. The man said that because the donkey gave him some years, the dog should also give him some years. The dog thought about it a little, that I have to run around so much for people. When I sit in one place and they make me sit in another place, and then they make me move from that place as well. People just keep moving me. My feet will not be able to enjoy this for long. Anyway, the dog gave 20 of its years to a man, and the man now got 80 years. He went to ask 20 years from the ox and got them. The man got the 100 years of his life that he wanted. But think about this a little. The first 40 of those years were his own. The years 40 to 60 are that of a donkey. The years 60 to 80 are that of a dog, and the years 80 to 100 are that of an ox. And in reality, it so happens that all the fun, enjoyment, and pleasure in life is in the first 40 years. They dissolve, the ages between 40 to 60 are the ages of a donkey. What does a donkey do? A donkey carries the burdens and heavy loads of others. That is what happens from the ages of 40 to 60. A person's child grows up and has to be trained in business. The doctor has grown up and has to be married. They have to do something for one person and then another thing for another person. They keep carrying the burdens and heavy loads of others. Their own pleasures are finished. Therefore, the years between the ages of 40 to 60 are that of a donkey. By the time one reaches the age of 60, then one has married one's sons and daughters, and after all these things have been done, one feels as if their burdens have reduced, and now they will finally get some enjoyment in life. But from the age of 60, the 20 years of the dog begin. If the reader is between the age of 60 to 80, then forgive me. Aesop has written this, but Aesop is no more, so who will go and get? This is what happens in reality. If you look at someone who is between the ages of 60 to 80, then you see that they're living the years of a dog. They were just sitting somewhere, and the poor person wants feeling from someone, wishes to listen to the talks of someone, or wishes to say 2 or 3 things of his own to people, but as soon as he sits down somewhere, people then tell him to move out of the way. When they are sitting at home, then people tell them to go to discourses and figure out what is being said. And from the years of 80 onwards, people think that may God save us. These are the years of the ox. What is an ox like? It cannot see during the day and stays awake at night. This is the situation of a person who is age 80 or above. During the day, they get some humidity because there is no work for them to do. Sit in one room, go to another room, then come back and read a newspaper, and then go and do another activity elsewhere. They cannot sleep at night, and therefore they stay awake the whole night. They feel weak, their whole bodies are dried up, big wrinkles can be seen on their faces, arms and legs. What I mean to say is that there's very little time in life, and that is why Prabhuji teaches us how to use that time in the right way. He performed devotion from childhood. Another quality of Prabhupada is supreme faith. This is supreme faith first in the fact that God is certainly there. This is supreme faith second, that the Supreme Soul will certainly protect me. This is the quality of Prabhuji. Thirdly, Prabhuji sees the Lord Tatra Tatra Savatra, here, there, everywhere. He sees God everywhere. He sees God even in the pillar. He sees consciousness even in matter. This is Prabhuji. The meaning of the name Vishnu is omnipresent. Hiranyakashipu asked him clearly that if your Vishnu is omnipresent and if your God is everywhere, then why can he not be seen in this pillar? Kasmat stambhe na drashyate. Prabhuji said that, Father, he is even in this pillar. It is clearly written in the Srimad Bhagavad that the Supreme Soul incarnated himself as Lord Narsi. Satyam vitaram nijabhuta pashitam vipalim cha bhuteshva akileshu chamana adashyata bhuta rupa mudvanan stambhe sabayan tamarvan manusyam. It is clearly written that the first reason why the Supreme Soul incarnated himself as Lord Narsi is to prove the speech of his devotee to be true. The fact that the Lord came to kill Hiranyakashipu is stated much later on. Why did the Lord become manifest? Because he thought that my devotee said that I am this pillar, and therefore I'll have to reside there. I'll never let my devotee be shown to be incorrect. I recently thought about the Bhishma Sutti, and the same thing is stated there. Bhishma Pitama says, Lord, you broke the word that you had given in order so that my word does not be regarded as myth. Swangama Appaya. Bhishma says this in the Bhishma Sutti. That is what God does for his devotees. If my devotee says this, then I will certainly do this. The Lord has love for his devotees. One who proves this love of the Lord is Prahlad. The fourth quality of Prahlad is that Prahlad was a devotee without desires. Lord Narsi told him to ask for what he wanted, but Prahlad did not ask for anything. He said, I do not want anything. Look, isn't the fact that you manifested yourself and gave me a sight of you enough? What else can I ask for? Lord Narsi said, son, just ask. And when the Lord insisted a lot, then even then Prahlad did not ask for anything for himself, but asked for his father's liberation. Prahlad is a devotee without desires. We should understand the meaning of the name Prahlad. It means Prakarshina Ladate Asu Prahlad, meaning the bliss one gets after performing devotion of the Supreme Soul. When one begins to walk on the path of the Supreme Soul, then they experience an infinite bliss in their heart. This is Prahlad. Bliss itself is Prahlad. When you begin to walk on the path of the Lord, then the bliss you get is Prahlad. And this never dies. The Hiranyakashipu in the form of society, or Hiranyakashipu in the form of a person around you, makes efforts in order to press on that bliss, but it never dies. Even if you throw him off a mountain, stamp an elephant's foot on him, put poison in his food, try to burn him in fire, or whatever you do, nothing will happen to him. Thousands of years ago we had Prahlad, and in the recent past, and also in the present, we have Mira. Even in Mira, when the love for Sri Krishna began, and bliss began to come, then Mira went in communion with saints. What would society say? The widow of a son of a royal family gave up all types of bondages, and Mira went. All these activities were also done in order to kill Mira. She was given a cup of poison, and all these types of activities were done to her. Yet it did not make any difference to Mira. You may regard Prahlad as a myth or part of a legend, but Mira is a historical character. How can you forget her? Prahlad and Mira are only milestones on the path of devotion. You see an infinite number of such milestones with whose support we can develop ourselves. Out of all the reasons why the Lord has said Prahlad is his devotee, divine manifestation, the one reason that I like the most, which you, I, and we all have to understand, is Prahlad is the ideal devotee for the Kali Yuga, this current age, which is the age of vice. Prahlad, in particular, is an ideal devotee for us. Many people say that they want to perform a lot of devotion, and their minds tell them to do so, but the circumstances are such that things are in a certain way in their homes. For example, their spouses do not believe in God. People give so many excuses. They say that they do not want to have a different opinion from their friends. When people tell me this, and when people come to me with such complaints that they want to do devotion, but the circumstances are against them, I tell them to hear about the story of Prahlad, and that will be enough. He had adverse circumstances all around him. Whenever he would chant the name of God, then people would threaten to kill him. At least we do not have to do this, and we are more fortunate than this. Whenever we chant God's name, then at least nobody tries to kill us. Prahlad lived in the middle of such adverse circumstances, and yet Prahlad still achieved success. And we just keep crying about these adverse circumstances. Prahlad accepted the challenge. This is Prahlad. That is why I say that Prahlad is the ideal devotee for today's times. People say that the times are like this, he's doing this, and she's doing that, and therefore I'm not performing devotion. A lot of people even say that there are too many crowds in temples, and that is why they don't go there. Is this a reason not to go? It is not my intention to say that you are only a devotee if you go to a temple. A person can still perform devotion without going to a temple, and a person can also perform devotion by going to a temple, but making excuses by saying that one is not doing something because of certain circumstances is the wrong thing. Prahlad is the ideal devotee for today's times. That is why the Lord says that his vibhuti, divine manifestation, is beloved. The Lord says that of all calculators, time is his vibhuti, divine manifestation. Over here the Lord is saying that he has time out of the following calculations: kalpa, cycles; yug, ages; varsh, years; ayan, which are solstices, so one that has two solstices, a northern solstice and southern solstice; months; amas, which are fortnights of the moon; days, one cycle of the clock; moments; hours; minutes; seconds; microseconds, and it goes on, etc. That's of these, God says that time is his vibhuti. Of calculators, time is his vibhuti, divine manifestation. God says that of creatures, the king of beasts, the lion, is his vibhuti, divine manifestation. A lion is faithful and loyal. A lion only takes as much as it needs and does not take more. I'll tell you about an experience that Guruji had. There was a discourse in the town of Junagadh in Gujarat around 13 to 14 years ago. One of his friend's father was a forest minister there. After the discourse, they went to Girinar jungle for 1 or 2 days. He saw a lion from very close at a distance for only a few meters. Guruji had also seen lions when he went to Africa, but he saw them from much close in the Girinar jungle. They had gone in a jeep. Guruji saw a lion of the jungle from close for the first time. They stopped the jeep, and his friend's father came out of the jeep and told him to come. Guruji told him, "Uncle, this is not a dog but a lion. What do you mean when you told me to come near a lion?" He told Guruji that, "Do not be afraid. I fed it this morning, so it won't do anything to you." A lion, a lioness, lion cubs, and a whole family was there. Guruji learned that when a lion's stomach is filled, then if you do not annoy it, then it won't kill you. A deer may walk nearby, but a lion whose stomach is filled will not kill it, as a tiger would kill it. A tiger knows how to collect things, whereas a lion does not know this. The lion has not even learnt this. When a lion is hungry, then it goes searching for food, hunts, fills its stomach, and goes back. When its stomach is filled, then it leaves it and goes back. Then vultures start feeding on the food. This is because the lion no longer has an interest in it. The enjoyment of a lion is another thing altogether. It has such a grace. Guruji's only seen lions loose in the jungle twice. For the first time in the Girinar jungle, and the second time when he went to a safari park in Kenya, in Africa, 10 years ago, when he saw 2 to 4 lions together. There is no fun in seeing a lion in a cage in a zoo. The enjoyment of seeing a lion in the jungle is another thing altogether. Krishna uses the word Mrugabendra to show that the lion is the king of the beasts. On such days, the thought comes that we are even lower than lions. Lions never collect. We have filled our stomachs in the morning, and yet we still want to fill our stomachs in the evening. Even when our stomachs are filled in the evening, we think about what we're going to do in order to fill our stomachs in the next day. We think about what we're going to do for the next month or after a year. There are many people who do not even earn anything throughout their lives, but can still have a standard of living. People have gathered so much and yet are still running around everywhere. Why? Just for the sake of it. Bread, bread, bread. How much will people collect? People just keep running around for no reason, and it is not as if they can eat more by running around more. Experience shows that those who have nothing eat more, and those who have everything eat less. And the more that one keeps increasing the things they collect, then the food decreases by the same amount. When a person has nothing, then he eats 10 chapatis. When he gathers a little, then he has 5 chapatis instead of 10 chapatis. Then it goes down to 3, then 2, and even then he has chapatis without ghee. Then what is the use of running around everywhere? This is what the lion teaches us. A person should have this faith. God may make us wake us up feeling hungry and thirsty, but God does not make us go to sleep feeling hungry and thirsty. First, one should have faith in the supreme truth. Second, a person should have faith in themselves. How is it a big thing to earn bread and butter? You will earn it. This is what a lion teaches us. A lion is faithful and loyal. There was a very nice story in Greek mythology which Guruji read when he was young. There was a slave by the name of Androcles. There was a slave system in Greece at the time. What happened was that kings and aristocrats of the time in Athens had their own games that they wanted to play. One game that they had was that they would capture slaves, trade slaves, and make them fight with lions. They would keep the lion hungry for 5 days or 7 days, then they would release the slave and also release the lion from the cage. The lion would be let loose and a battle would take place between them. It was a sadist mentality. They would make a castrated bull fight with each other and organize other battles like this. All of this is recorded in history. Androcles was one time passing through a jungle, and there was a poor lion who had fallen skinny because a thorn had struck in its foot. The lion could not walk because otherwise the thorn would hurt a lot. Because the lion could not walk, he could not hunt either. If a lion wishes to hunt a deer, then a lion would need to run so fast. Deers run so fast as well, and a lion would need to catch up with them. But this thorn kept hurting the lion. The lion was sitting there in an absolutely melancholy state. Androcles was passing there and saw what had happened to the lion. Androcles pulled the thorn from the lion's foot and applied some medicine there, from which the lion's foot got healed. Androcles kept moving forward. Some time went in between. Androcles got captured as a slave. A battle with a lion was held, but where a lion was kept hungry and was released on him. There was a stadium full of people waiting to see what would happen. All of a sudden, when the people looked, then the lion was released from the cage. It began running, but when it reached Androcles, then it sat down right by his feet as if it was a dog. Everybody found this strange that a hungry lion just sat down like this in front of him. Androcles did not even know what was going to happen and thought that he had gone. He thought, how could I possibly fight with a lion? The lion sat down, and then Androcles realized that this is the same lion from whose foot he pulled out the thorn. A lion is trustworthy and loyal. A lion never forgets a favor done to it. This is the quality of a lion. That's why Shri Krishna says that a lion is his vibhuti, divine manifestation. Shri Krishna says that of the birds, the son of Vinat, Garud, is his vibhuti, divine manifestation. Garudji is the son of Vinat. Garud's mother is called Vinat. In this verse, Shri Krishna addresses Garudji as Vinateya, the son of Vinat, just like Arjun, as the son of Kunti, is addressed as Kaunteya, the son of Kunti. Garud is the king of birds. If one thing were to be Garud's greatest fortune of all, then it would be that he is the Supreme Soul Vishnu's vehicle. How privileged must he be that he is God's vehicle? Can he be this fortunate that, Lord, I will be your vehicle, Lord, I will take you to the worlds, Lord, I will take your thoughts to the people, Lord, I will take your work to the people. This is a very big privilege. It is described in the Puranas that whenever Garudji flies, then from the movement of his wings that takes place, the hymns of the Samaveda are automatically vibrated from the flapping of his wings. When the wings flap, some sound or the other comes out of them. In that way, when Garudji's wings begin moving, then the mantras and the hymns of the Samaveda begin vibrating. Garudji is very pure. End of verse.